You are watching KEVU 25 News Now at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Amaya Norman.
And I'm Trenton Whiting.
Yesterday marks the start of Diabetes Awareness Month, recognized annually to help spread understanding of symptoms and treatment for the common condition. The Texas A&M Coastal Bend Health Education Center is one of the leading sources of diabetes information for local residents. The business is now prepared to hold diabetes screening events for residents to check their health status. We spoke with a registered nurse at a vaccination education event some time ago. She says diabetes doesn't have to be dangerous or scary if people are mindful of the decisions they make in their day-to-day lives.
Eating, healthy exercise, so that either you can reverse your diabetes if you have prediabetes, or if you have newly diagnosed diabetes, type 2 diabetes, you can also bring it under really good control, or there are some people who can put it back into the pre-diabetes stage, and they've done so well that they actually have been able to reverse it and put it in remission. But you've got to come to class so that you can learn how you do that.
The Coastal Bend Health Education Center will continue having educational events about diabetes throughout November. The Coastal Bend Health Education Center plans to host a Keep Diabetes at Bay 5K to help raise money and awareness for the free diabetes education offered at the clinic. The race will take place on November 8th at Water Edge on Shoreline Boulevard, starting at 7:30 a.m. The last day to sign up are this week on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. For more information, call 361-502-0045.
A Victoria woman prepares for court after fines from the county totaling over $1,200 for dogs she says weren't hers. Leslie Kosterick called the Victoria County Animal Services Department to pick up a group of dogs that roamed into her property and around her neighborhood. She says VCAS gave her 4 citations for failure to vaccinate these dogs, claiming VCAS placed the ownership of the group with her. Now she must attend a court date tomorrow to contest the tickets.
It's hard. I can't provide for all these dogs that they were blaming me for. So I contacted Animal Control hoping that they would do something about it. But instead they ticketed me. This is not cool at all, you know. So they wouldn't do nothing about it. Then I reached out to the police department and I made a report that I was trying to catch the strays, even if they were mine, but they're too fast. You know, I couldn't catch them because they don't know me and I don't know them. They're not my...
Kosterick says she was able to catch one of the dogs from the pack. She and her family now care for it. She says she hopes the courts throw out the citations, saying the financial burden from these fines would be a significant blow.
The Victoria County Animal Service Department is addressing concerns about loose and stray dogs, urging officers and residents to try reuniting pets with their owners before taking them to shelters. In a social media post, VCAS said many of these dogs belong to somebody, adding that finding owner first can reduce shelter overcrowding and stress for both pets and families. The department also encouraged education on containment, microchipping, and spay and neuter service to help prevent future stray issues.
The Victoria County Commissioners Court will meet Monday, November 3rd at 10 a.m. inside the Victoria County Courthouse, room 241. On the agenda, commissioners will acknowledge the retirement of Margetta Hill, the county's longtime elections administrator, and take any necessary action. They'll also discuss creating and appointing members to the new Victoria County Emergency Services Planning Task Force, aimed at improving emergency coordination across the county and more other important topics.
And the Yoakum City Council will meet Tuesday, November 4th at 5:30 p.m. at City Hall, located at 808 Highway 77A South. Council members will hear from visitors, then discuss a proposal from the Paleo Oil Company to drill a horizontal gas well within the city limits. They also consider updates to the city's utility policy manual. The meeting is open to the public.
Now, for more on local news, content, weather, and sports, come to our website, crossroadstoday.com.
And if you see news happening, let us know. Call the number on your screen to contact our newsroom or email us at your tips at staff@crossroadstoday.com. Now let's go to Jacob Lozano with the first look at our forecast. Jacob, how are we looking with the weather for the fall?
Well, it's going to be be sticking around here just for a little bit while longer. Let's just say that. Clear skies right now. It's going to provide for some cooler weather. 57 degrees is what we're at right now for the time, or for the temperature for this night. But looking out towards the morning, we're going to be seeing some upper 40s, some mid 40s up farther north along the I-10 corridor, some mid to low 50s around the Texas coastline. So it's going to be kind of cool, but temperatures are going to be also increasing here because we do have high pressure on the way, but we also have a new full moon. This is going to be our next super moon here for November 5th on Wednesday. This is the beaver moon, and it's about the time of year when beavers start to take shelter here. So it's about 14% larger than normal, than the average moons. That's why it's called the super moon. So definitely want to take some time out to go check that out. At 7:19 a.m. is when the peak is, but we are talking about some warmer conditions as high pressure is going to be building up. So I'll be talking about all of that coming up. Trenton?
Thank you, Jacob. A popular AI chatbot platform is making big changes over concerns about child safety as it faces multiple lawsuits.
ABC's Aaron Kettersky spoke with a mother who is sounding the alarm over changes she noticed in her own son.
Pick your character.
Tonight, kids under 18 are limited in how much time they can spend chatting with a virtual companion on the platform Character AI. By the end of the month, teens will be banned from using that feature altogether. The company citing recent news reports and questions from regulators as reasons for the sweeping change. The move comes after parents like Mandy Furness are suing the company. Furness vividly remembers the day she discovered her son's fixation with an AI chatbot.
I thought, how does this happen? He went from a happy-go-lucky kid, smiling all the time. He developed depression-like symptoms. He stopped eating. He lost 20 pounds.
The lawsuit says LJ was talking to an array of virtual characters on Character AI who led him down a dark path. LJ was cutting his arm.
It told him that it goes to the forest to where nobody else is there and cuts their own skin, and told him that he should do that too.
Character AI said it does not comment on pending litigation. LJ is currently getting treatment at a mental health facility. An estimated 72% of teens have interacted with AI companions. Online safety advocates applaud the new changes, but say AI chatbots should have been off limits to children in the first place.
This is basically your child or teen is having an emotionally intense, potentially deeply romantic or sexual relationship with an entity that feels like a person representing a company that has no responsibility for where that relationship goes.
Aaron Kettersky, ABC News, New York.
Arson investigation said an early morning explosion at a Harvard medical building appears to be intentional. Harvard University police released surveillance photos of two suspects seen fleeing the scene around 3 a.m. Saturday at the Goldenson building. Officers found evidence of an explosion inside, prompting Boston Arson's unit to respond. No one was hurt, and local, state, and federal investigators are now working with the university police to determine who's responsible.
Now to the frightening moments at a festival near Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Two young girls were thrown from a Ferris wheel on Saturday.
Witnesses say the two girls fell out when the bucket they were riding in was caught on where it tilted and they fell. Here's the latest.
Panic at a Louisiana fair. Rescuers scaling a Ferris wheel to reach a woman clinging to an over-tipped carriage at the Harvest Festival in New Roads, just outside of Baton Rouge, after two girls fell from the ride just moments before.
I heard a body, just like something fall. Like I heard a loud boom.
Police tending to one of the victims on the ground. Witnesses there stunned.
It caught onto the wires and then it tilted over and the two girls fell out.
The two girls, both under the age of 13, flown to the hospital. Authorities investigating why the ride malfunctioned. It comes just days after this terrifying incident in Kansas City, Missouri. Two people tightly holding onto a young girl after they say her seatbelt became unlatched aboard the Mamba roller coaster at Worlds of Fun theme park. The park's parent company, Six Flags, saying they found no issue with the seatbelts, but have replaced them out of an abundance of caution. That ride has since reopened.
And as for that incident in Louisiana, that Ferris wheel's still closed. We've reached out to the Harvest Festival for comment and have not heard back. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
A fire at a popular discount store in northwestern Mexico has claimed the lives of at least 23 people and injured 12 others, according to state authorities. The deadly blaze erupted on Saturday at a Waldo's dollar store in downtown, near the capital of the state of Sonora. Authorities say children were among the victims. According to Sonora Attorney General, a preliminary investigation suggests that the deaths were caused by inhalation of toxic gases. City officials say they believe the fire originated in a transformer and was not intentional, although the exact cause is under investigation. It's still unclear if there was an explosion that led to the fire.
President Trump threatening military actions in Nigeria, where he's accusing the country of and how officials are responding. Next.
Well, temperatures right now have dropped a degree at 56 degrees. Southeasterly wind picking up at about 5 miles per hour, but we got some warmer conditions on the way. We'll be talking about that coming up.
Now to President Trump threatening military actions in Nigeria, accusing the West African country of not doing enough to protect Christians.
Tonight, Nigerian officials are denying claims of religious intolerance and saying they welcome U.S. assistance in fighting terrorism. Here's ABC's Alex Perchet.
Tonight, President Trump says the U.S. military stands prepared to go into Nigeria guns a-blazing, claiming the country's government is allowing Christians to be slaughtered. The president threatening to wipe out Islamic terrorists in a post. Trump adding that the U.S. will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria and may very well go into that now disgraced country. Secretary Pete Hegseth standing with the president, responding, the Department of War is prepared for action. Nigeria is split nearly evenly between Muslims and Christians. But over the last decade, the violent terror group Boko Haram and other extremists have increased attacks like this one in northern Nigeria. Analysts caution that while Christians are among those targeted, most of these attacks are in Nigeria's Muslim-majority north.
It's not only the Christians they are killing. They are killing those who are not Christians too.
Some Nigerians welcome help from the U.S., but Nigeria's President Tinubu, who has struggled to contain these rebel groups, pushing back against these accusations, saying the characterization of Nigeria as religiously intolerant does not reflect our national reality. The threat of military intervention comes as the U.S. has escalated its operations targeting alleged drug traffickers in South America. Overnight, the Pentagon saying 3 people were killed in an airstrike on an alleged drug boat in the Caribbean Sea. This attack just days after 4 boats in the Eastern Pacific were destroyed, killing 14 people. President Trump is accusing Venezuela's authoritarian leader Nicolas Maduro of orchestrating drug trafficking, saying that he has not ruled out land strikes and that he's authorized covert CIA missions inside that country. Alex Perchet, ABC News, the White House.
In just days, the Supreme Court will hear arguments on whether President Trump's tariffs policy is legal. The case centers on the International Emergency Economic Power Act, a law allowing presidents to set tariffs during a national emergency. Trump used that authority to impose steep tariffs on China, India, and Brazil earlier this year. American businesses have paid nearly $90 billion as a result. If the court rules against him, the U.S. could be forced to reimburse those companies.
The government shutdown is now entering its 2nd month and is on track to become the longest in U.S. history.
And tonight, millions of Americans are feeling the impact from airports to kitchen tables. Here's ABC's Allison Koskick with more.
Tonight, the government shutdown is starting to hit Americans where it hurts. Airports nationwide are experiencing delays as staffing shortages take their toll. Air traffic controllers are calling out under stress and fatigue. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says safety is his department's top priority.
We will delay, we will cancel any kind of flight across the national airspace to make sure people are safe.
Meanwhile, 42 million Americans face losing critical food assistance. A federal judge has ordered emergency funding. President Trump says he has instructed government attorneys to find a legal pathway. Democratic Majority Leader Hakeem Jeffries telling CNN,
"It's very unfortunate that Donald Trump and Republicans have decided to weaponize hunger."
Republicans are blaming Democrats for voting down spending bills to reopen the government.
We have voted 14 times to open the country, and they vote to keep it closed. All they have to do is vote to open the country.
Democrats remain firm on extending the Affordable Care Act, tax credits to prevent health care costs from rising for roughly $20 million. Virginia resident Beth Dreyer, who relies on that subsidy, says her monthly premium jumped from $80 to $425.
This is more than quadrupled in cost for me. So it's just straight out. There's no way I would be able to afford this next year.
A new ABC News Washington Post Ipsos poll finds a majority of Americans think the country is headed in the wrong direction. About 2/3 say the U.S. is pretty seriously off, while just under a third believe things are moving in the right direction. Roughly 6 in 10 disapprove of how President Trump is handling tariffs, the economy, and the federal government. More say the Democratic Party is more out of touch than the Republican Party. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth was in Vietnam Sunday. After his arrival to Hanoi, Vietnam, Hegseth's day started with a welcome ceremony, and the day continued with bilateral meetings with Vietnamese leaders and officials, including President Luong Quang. Following his meeting with Vietnamese Defense Minister Phan Van Giang, gifts were exchanged as a sign of reconciliation efforts between the countries. These usually include memorabilia and artifacts from the Vietnam War, including letters, ID tags, and photographs. The Defense Secretary also visited a former prisoner of war site used by Vietnam called Hoa Lo Prison. He took the time to speak to a group of troops working at DPAA and showed them the artifacts gifted to him by the defense minister. Hegseth was visiting Vietnam to reaffirm the partnership between the two countries as they continue to heal from the Vietnam War. Next year, in April, will mark the 50th anniversary of the end of that war.
Experience our digital streaming service Crossroads Today Plus. Stream our daily newscasts and much more using your connected TV. Just download Crossroads Today Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Search Crossroads Today Plus.
Well, another cool, clear night here in the Crossroads, but we do have temperatures on the rise. I'll be talking about that coming up after the break. Well, Crossroads, I hope you've been enjoying these couple of fronts that have been rolling through. It's been quite nice in the mornings as well, 76 and sunny. That's my type of weather. 52, though, in the morning. It's going to be a little bit cooler tomorrow morning, though, with mid to low 40s to start off the day. But we do have high pressure that's going to continue to be building up over our area here. So that's this Monday at 6 p.m. So this is different layers of pressure here. So the darker red, meaning it's a lot higher pressure. So think about like a pressure cooker, more pressure, increase in heat. you move up in layers, it gets a little bit cooler, less pressure, so that's actually quite nice. But unfortunately for us, it actually expands here for Tuesday as well as for Wednesday. But then we start to see the high pressure begin to shift out west, but still relatively high. We can still see that orange. It's still some relatively higher pressure. But then we start to see a little bit of shift here over next week as we are watching possibly another little frontal system to come down here on Saturday and as well as into Sunday here, which could help shape things up here just a little bit for us. So temperatures tomorrow morning, I did mention 48 degrees for us there to start off, so may need a little light jacket, but we're getting to 73 there by 10 a.m. and then jumping up to 78 for the daytime high. Then it continues to increase here. So Tuesday morning still may need that light jacket, low 50s there in the morning. Then we jump into the mid to upper 70s here for lunchtime. And then we're dancing around that 80-degree temperature there for us. So temperatures are slowly going to be increasing. We're going to take a look at this little roller coaster, 78, 81, 84, 86. And then we're going to be pushing 90 there by Friday. It's that summer heat's going to start to kind of return for us here a little bit just because of that high pressure that's going to be building up over us for the next couple of days. So enjoy those cool mornings because that's what we're going to be hoping for. And then you're going to have to just, I guess, sweat out these next couple of days here within these mid to upper 80s here. So sunny skies for tomorrow, getting to 78 degrees there right around 3 p.m. here. Winds will start to shift out of the southeast there. That'll help bring in some more humidity as well as we go on through the week, and we'll bring in a little bit more cloud cover here. Cuero going to be seeing those same conditions as well with those sunnier skies, southeasterly winds picking up at about 6 miles per hour. As well as Port Lavaca going to see that shift as well out of the southeast at 78 degrees there with sunny skies as well. But the next 7 days, we do have that increase in our temperatures here, 81, 84, 86, 89, and then we start to see a little bit of a dip there on Saturday and Sunday with a possible little frontal system. So enjoy these next couple of mornings. We're going to be right around the 50s there for those morning lows, and it'll be quite nice for us to just to gather before we actually enter these warmer conditions later within the week with relatively mostly sunny skies. And don't forget that full moon is going to be there on Wednesday morning at complete fullness. So don't forget to scan the QR code for more news, weather, and sports. And speaking of sports, we got Ray.
Thank you, Jacob. And I got some bad news for you Spurs guys out there, but we've got more Week 10 fallout from Friday night. See what Calhoun players have to say and more coming up in sports. We are continuing your CFL fallout from Week 10. Let's talk about the Calhoun Sand Crabs. After a tough 2-3 start in non-district games, the Calhouns really turned things around in district play, going 3-1. Their latest game was just like their season, big changes in the second half. All the difference, senior quarterback Isaiah Cabrales played a huge role in those adjustments, helping the team find success and bringing good vibes. After the game, let's hear what Isaiah had to say about how they made it happen.
Yeah, so we weren't really seeing much. We were just making little mistakes, and we went into halftime. We adjusted to the mistakes, and we fixed it. It's amazing. I mean, using the speed when we're getting open gaps, like there's small gaps that we can't hit, but the speed's just helping us. I mean, it's amazing. So I was just thinking, like, I gotta do this for my team. We gotta win. Like, we gotta be a team, and I gotta carry them. I gotta go. Let's go. I mean, we finally finished the second half, finished the full game. All we gotta do is get the first half, and we're good. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Isaiah. He's a great athlete, and reminder, he did crack our top 3 plays of the week. But yesterday, the UIL cross-country meet in Crossroads, the area was proudly represented in this state meet. Ganado and Refugio on the 2A girls side, Ganado's Addison Tuddick crossed the finish line with an impressive time of 13 minutes, 23 seconds, and .10 split seconds, securing 73rd place, while Refugio's Caitlin Brown kept the momentum strong, finishing 85th with a solid 13 minutes, 36 seconds, and 40 split seconds. Over on the boys' 2A side, Ganado's Ty Szymanski powered through the 5K, finishing 32nd with a time of 17 minutes, 15 seconds, and 10 split seconds. A huge shout out to all these athletes for their incredible stamina, grit, and dedication. The A&M Victoria men's soccer team faced off against North American University on the road. After being tied for much of the match, Mosiah Bonnie delivered a last-minute goal in the final 25 minutes to secure the 2-1 victory. This win plays a crucial role in them securing a team spot in the Red River Athletic Conference. The game took place yesterday, so best of luck to the Jags. And the same can be said for the A&M women's soccer team, who also battled North American University. The women came out on top, winning their game, final score 2-1. Brianna Ortega and Elani Garcia both scored crucial goals to secure the victory. Following this big win, the Jags are now gearing up for their appearance in the Red River Athletic Conference tournament, entering as the 6th seed. And it was not an ideal day for Houston Texans fans as they battled the Denver Broncos. And after making a field goal, the Texans faced a 3rd and goal situation. Davis Mills was sacked by Jonathan Cooper, giving Denver valuable time to set up their defense. Despite this, the Texans still managed to take an early 6-0 lead. However, Bo Nix had different plans, throwing for 173 yards, leading the Broncos to an 18-15 victory. Additionally, C.J. Stroud did sustain a concussion during this game. And over to the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs' undefeated streak unfortunately ended to an unlikely team in the Phoenix Suns. An unexpected game from Victor Wembanyama after going scoreless for a quarter. Wemby surprisingly finished with 9 points. Spurs' leading scorer tonight was surprisingly Stephon Castle with 26, but the Spurs fall to the Suns' final score, 118-130. The Spurs will be on the road to battle the Lakers on Wednesday in their next game. But that does it for your sports. Amaya?
Thank you, Ray. Now get ready to look up. We're giving you a sneak peek at the Giants' new balloon, from Mario to Shrek, floating your way this Thanksgiving. Sneak peek at some of the new balloons that will be flying over the streets of Manhattan on Thanksgiving. Volunteers handlers did a test run Saturday in East New Jersey, and ahead of the 99th annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, some of the balloons seen include Mario, Pac-Man, Buzz Lightyear, and Shrek. The balloons are as tall as 3 and 4 stories building. You can see off the balloon new and classics at Macy's.com, and of course you can also see that during the parade set for Thursday, November 27th at 8:30 a.m. Eastern for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You guys watch that, the Macy's Day Parade?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
You don't watch it?
Maybe that's just me.
What? You don't like
It's right
the...
before football, so it's kind of like, a little pastime, and then football hits.
That's fair. Maybe I'll just wait till football. I'm distracted by all the turkey and food and stuff.
Fair.
So.
I mean, yeah, that too. You're right. But I think the balloons are still like, nice to see.
That's fair.
It's,
That's fair.
Yeah, it's amazing to look at.
Maybe I'll watch this year.
To see how big they are. Look.
Maybe I'll watch
Yeah, while you're fixing your fantasy.
That's pretty huge.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So let's
Maybe
go to
so.
weather.
Alrighty, guys. So maybe that light jacket tomorrow morning. We're going to see some upper 40s. Temperatures are on the rise this week, so we're going to see those low temperatures in the mornings actually start to gradually increase. So a little light jacket in the morning, and then you're going to have to take it off because we'll start to see some 80s there, maybe even some 90s there on Friday. It's just the high pressure that's building up over us.
Great, we are back hot. Well, thank you for joining us. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join Carolina Strain and Parker Cox for 25 News Now Sunrise at 5 a.m.